And joining me now, live from Natchitoches, Louisiana, and the campus of Northwestern State, two very special guests. We have Associate Head Coach Stacey Aldredge and Breanna Burrell. Coach Bree, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
I'm good.
And we should say that Stacey is obviously in place of head coach Sean Kirikoff, who we understand is feeling under the weather. So we'll send our best to Coach Kirikoff. But to be honest with you, with Coach being in his 9th season with the Demons and you yourself, Stacey, being with your 7th on staff, is there that much difference at the end of the day? The program runs through both of you. So going into your 7th year on staff, where's your excitement level, expectation level for this group of Demons that you have this year?
I'm incredibly excited. Obviously, this season I think is going to be one for the books. So I obviously played here, so I have a lot of passion and love for this program just because I also was a student athlete here and, shared a lot of the same experiences that they still do and that they have. And so every year is exciting. It was exciting every year as a player and now as a coach. And so I really do think that we've got a great group of just women in general and then also volleyball players on the court too. So I think it's going to be a great year for us. I'm really looking forward to it.
And Bree, how's preseason started? Obviously, you're getting very close to first real games coming up this week, and I'm sure there's been a lot of intensity on and off the court in your preparations. How's it been for you so far?
It's been really cool. We played La Tech in our exhibition Sunday. I think it went really well. There's obviously some things we need to work on, but that's what the exhibition match is for. We play Mississippi State this weekend and some other teams there. I can't really remember right now. But I know that our preseason is going to be hard, but I feel like harder the better. We get to really see like what we need to work on and really gel as a team. But I love this group of girls already, so yeah.
And Coach Bree's kind of led me into it, so I'll start there with this schedule. Bree already alluded to Mississippi State. We've got Washington State on the agenda and even welcoming UCLA to Natchitoches as well. That's an incredible slate of games, lots of excitement, surely. What kind of tests do each of those programs, provide you guys as you prepare for Southland Conference play?
Absolutely. So obviously preseason this year is going to be a little bit harder for us, more challenging, but we really like that for our players because it's going to help prepare us for season. So again, we've got some great teams, like you mentioned, UCLA, which is a very big deal for us to be hosting them. We are very excited about that, very fortunate to be able to play them as our home opener. But yeah, just really looking forward to some great competition. There's going to be some highs, some things that we can work on, but just really preparing us for a great conference season ahead. And we're really looking forward to it.
And after a great run in the SLC tournament last year, 2 reverse sweeps, proved the desperation of your group to be able to win and the resiliency of your team to come back from those 2 deficits. You returned 6 starters. That's an incredible amount of experience to be able to return after a 19-win season with such a young team. That has to be a really good foundation for you to build on.
It's a huge foundation for us to build on. And like Bree said, our exhibition match, I think that we're starting at a great point and that we can only go up from there. And so to be able to return 6 starters and just to have the core group that we have, only losing Addison McDermott, our one senior, she was huge for us, a great leader, but we also obviously brought in some transfers. And so I think that they're going to be a huge asset to us as well. And it's going to be great. We're going to be competitive. It's going to be fun. This group of girls are amazing and they're hard workers. And so I think to be able to have that returning and knowing our capabilities from just seeing it last season and going forward is going to be amazing for us. And I'm really excited. It's going to be great. I feel like we talk about it a lot. Just really looking forward to just a great, also, like I said, great group of women too, that are just really fun to be around and just great people as well.
And Coach, let me ask you about a couple of those women who you've mentioned would be transferring in and adding to that experience with, new fresh blood on a new team as it is every year. What do you and Coach Kirikoff look for when you're trying to find additions to this roster? And building on what you had last year, were there specific areas that you felt you needed to target for additions or improvement?
I kind of feel like we were lucky with our transfers kind of coming in. Obviously, we do have a lot of attackers this year. And so, I loved our attackers and the amount that we had last year. These 2 kind of just happened to fall into our lap. So obviously, Teresa is going to add a lot of firepower out to the pin, as obviously with Bree. So there's just great, consistent attackers, great, decent blockers. And then obviously adding Tessa to the right side. She's going to be a great asset. She was a forward middle as well, so we can kind of move her around, and she'll just be just a great addition, you know, as far as blocking and then also attacking as well.
Awesome. And Bree, you know, I want to talk about your experience. You know, 75 matches played across 3 years in the SLC. That's a lot by anyone's standards, right? So
Yeah.
you've seen a lot, and there's still a lot more for you to come. How do you feel about where the league is right now? Obviously, across your years, you've seen various teams be up and down and so on and so forth. But as you head towards, you know, the Southland Conference play this season, what do you feel about the state of the Southland volleyball-wise?
I feel like it's definitely evolved since I've been here. Freshman year was very weird having to play in the spring. I feel like everyone was all over the place, so I can't really speak on freshman year, but ever since sophomore year, I actually got to experience what Southland Conference is actually like. And then you see teams that will go from winning to teams to go from winning to go like to the very bottom. It's just like, it fluctuates. And I feel like we've always been like right there in the middle of the pack. And then we proved our point in the conference tournament doing the reverse sweeps and taking out Corpus Christi, and no one expected us to win that game. And from going from the tournament and till now, we know that what we are capable of, and we honestly deserve to be up there with the top teams that kind of took it away in our conference. So yeah.
And building on that achievement that you said last year, you know, you're very much not a surprise package this year, considering what you accomplished last year, right? So what do you think it will take to take that next step and potentially reach the championship game and try and win Southland Conference Championship this year?
I think it just comes from us, comes from within the team. It's just us having the same mindset, really gelling on the court, off the court, going the extra mile this year. I feel like every year we have a potential, but I feel like this year, if we really just capitalize on what we can do, then we will shock some people this year for sure.
And individually, you've had incredible success. You've led the team in kills in the last 2 seasons with 338 last year, which is outrageous. You're the 4th player working with Coach Aldredge to crack the top 15 in single season kills. So let's try and make Coach blush just for a second. What has Coach taught you in your time with her, and how do you feel your game as far as kills has developed over time working with the coaching staff at Northwestern State?
So many things. I came in, I just wanted to hit the ball hard, and that's all I wanted to do. And then when I realized that people start to scout you, then you can't just keep hitting the ball hard all the time. So having my shot selection, and then passing as well. And me and Stacey have the same number, so we really have a connection here. And I've really been trying to beat her record. So that drive that she has comes onto me, and I just like the advice I've gotten here has really improved my hitting game as well as like my defense and my passing. But it's just, there's so much information that I can't even like express to you. I've been here for so long. But just the hard work that they put in, just really like, I don't know, just how I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It is so, I don't know how to explain it. Might have to cut that out. I'm trying to think. Like, it's just so much. Like, I've really been here for so long. There's so much information. Like every day that I get. I'm trying to think. That's a good way to say this, Stace.
Well, let me jump in. I'm gonna turn it around on Coach a little bit and ask Coach Stacey. You know, what you've obviously already said you have a lot of talented attackers, clearly, but this young woman to your right is obviously a special talent. So, what do you see in her that makes her that way, and how do you feel her game has evolved under yours and Coach Kirikov's tutelage?
We've come a long way, that's for sure. I mean, like you said, she came in just wanting to hit the ball as hard as she could. So obviously just, kind of tweaking, just some technique. But I mean, obviously that foundation was already there. So which is really nice for us because just the athleticism that she already came in, that's hard to teach. So she already had that coming in, but just working on transitioning off the net and just adding more tools to her toolbox. So as far as like hitting and working on different swings that she may have. So it's not always just hitting straight on, just And again, just kind of seeing what she has in front of her. And then passing, she's made huge strides in her passing and defensive game. Just we've worked on our technique and just really try to drive home of what we're teaching in the gym. And she's now getting more confident and consistent with that. And that's huge. And so, it's been really fun to watch Bree as a freshman. Like she said, her freshman year, it was different. It was odd. And now here we are, just seeing so much improvement. And then just to kind of touch on, the kills as our coaching, as a coach, our job is to make sure that our players are excelling. And so I hope that she beats my record, because that means that we're doing our job, but what a huge accomplishment that would be too. And just to prove that our program is getting so much better and continuing to get better. And like I said, obviously as a player, you want that, but as a coach who played here, that's just the icing on the cake for me. I genuinely, I love my job so much. And so getting to watch other athletes excel and put in the the hard work they have been into this program as well, just means so much to me on a personal level too.
And I want to highlight another couple of individuals that you've clearly worked with, Reagan Thompson and Jordan Gamble, the first teammates to record 100 or more blocks each in a single season in school history. Reagan was named the top freshman in Louisiana by the LSWA as well. Incredible talents, and clearly being honed in a very successful environment down there in Natchitoches. But what can you speak about those two, and in terms of what their blocking capability really brings to your defense?
Yeah, they came in and they definitely showed up and proved who they were. And so like you said, Reagan and Jordan have both worked extremely hard. And just to come in as freshmen and just kind of have that confidence, we kind of just threw them in there and they just they didn't even skip a beat. And so to come in and to provide the defense that they did for us, it's tremendous. Obviously Reagan, just very incredibly athletic, very versatile. We used her on the pins at sometimes during the season as well. And so we were just kind of able to throw her and she just kind of figured it out. And then Jordan, just building that consistency and just such a presence at the net and working hard in transition. So to have them on the front row has been awesome. And just, I cannot wait to see what they do this season. We're very excited to see them, continue to improve. It's hard to go, the starting point from last year, but I think they obviously are going to do great for us this season.
And Bree, I want to touch on obviously yourself as as a hitter, you're trying to get these kills, but you can't do that if the ball isn't passed to you, right? So how do you develop such successful relationships with your setters? And what's that kind of relationship like between those talented young women on your team and yourself in terms of making sure that you can be successful on the court?
My relationship with my setters are, I feel like, really, really good. I actually live with Piper, so we already have that. We see each other every day, so literally every day, really, since we've been here. And then Amina, one of my really, really good friends on this team, and they're just so easy to get along with. So it's like the connection is gonna kind of just come by itself. Yeah, it's not hard to get along with them too.
Awesome. And if you were going to describe the style of play of what it means to be a Northwestern State Demon on terms of the volleyball team, what would you tell someone who maybe hasn't watched you guys before, what they would see if they check you guys out this season?
We're gonna fight. Like we might, and like from last year, speaking of last year, we might lose the first set, might lose the second one, but that third one, you got to watch out. And we're gonna win that fifth set. We're gonna win that 5-set match. This year, I feel like scrappy should be a good word for us, especially after watching, I guess, against La Tech this past Sunday. I'm trying to think of another word. And loud. We love to cheer. Very different from everybody else that I've seen. Especially if you watch me. Apparently, I go on the ground and hit the ground a lot. We like to bark. So we're very, really different. We have different tendencies on this team.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing some of those cheers in action as we get going here in just a couple of weeks. Very last question, and you can both answer this. We want to give our fans a chance to get to know you guys a little bit better, learn a little bit more about the individuals you are. So if you knew that your dinner and on any given night was going to be your last supper, you can have anything you want, what would your last supper be?
Coach,
I think you're going first.
I had asked them, like, what was it, like, if you had one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? But man, I would say sushi. I think it'd be a good plate of sushi.
Okay.
Or some kind of seafood.
I think mine would have to be just a good burger. Good burger and fries and some ranch. You gotta have the ranch on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect the addition of the ranch. That's a key
Yeah,
element
the
there,
ranch is the
100%.
key.
You have to
Yeah.
have the ranch. I'm not eating it without the ranch.
Okay, well, I'll endeavor to make sure that we have sufficient ranch dressing at the Southland Conference Championship Tournament this November. Just make sure you're okay with that, and we'll keep the ranch
Right.
dressing flowing. Ladies, thank you so much for taking the time. Coach Stacey, Bree, it's been great to get to chat with you, and we'll just wish you the best of luck for the opening week of the season and everything that's to come.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Cheers. Bang.
And
And